Hello friends, I am Dr. Kulkarni and this presentation deals with managing the references. Those of us who have managed references at some time or the other in the past know the difficulties in managing the references. We have to search these references, store these references and retrieve them at the time when they are to be used. So searching the references, storing them and their timely retrieval is one problem. The second one is the inserting the references in the text as per chosen style. There are various styles of inserting the references in the text say Vancouver or the Harvard are the two popular styles. And each style has got its own peculiarity and method of inserting the citation in the text as per its own style. So that we must know, and if we do not know, then the problems can arise. The third difficulty is that we have to enlist the references in the end of the text. And if we have chosen Vancouver style of inserting the references in the text, then we have to enlist the references as per the Vancouver style. If we have inserted the references in the text as per Harvard style, then the enlisting has to be as per the Harvard style. And these methods differ with each other. There are some differences of these methods and we must know the intricacies of these methods, and if we don't know, we may commit the mistake. So the help is now available with the software, and with this background the learning objectives of this presentation are: first of all, we will download and install ZOTERO software, and this is the software, and the reason for choosing this software apart from its efficiency are that it is a freely available software on the internet, so we can download and install it freely. No money is to be given to the manufacturers of this software. So this is one. The second objective is to show what is the inbuilt library. The third one is to collect and build your own library with the help of ZOTERO. The fourth is to show how to cite the references in the text. And the fifth one is to show how to make the list or the bibliography at the end of the text. So first objective is to install ZOTERO and ZOTERO connector. So for this, you'll have to go to internet. You must have an internet connection and a browser, preferably Google Chrome, because the ZOTERO works best with the Google Chrome as the web browser. So when you go to internet, in the web browser search box or search window, you type the word ZOTERO for Windows, install ZOTERO for Windows. So you type that word and then you come to this particular web page. This web page will be there. If you have got another operating system like Mac, then you will have to download ZOTERO for Mac. So be sure that you are going to download the ZOTERO software appropriate for your operating system. And since in this case, my case, it was Windows, I will be demonstrating it with the Windows. So when you write that search word ZOTERO for Windows download, this page crops up and you are taken to this particular link. And there are two things over here. One is you have to download and install ZOTERO 5 for Windows, and second is you have to install ZOTERO connector. So the first, when you have to install ZOTERO for Windows, you have to click this particular button, download button over here. When you click this button, the ZOTERO installer file, which is an exe file or executable file, is downloaded on your computer. So you have to search for that downloaded file and click on that file, and ZOTERO will be installed on your computer along with its shortcut key on the desktop. So that will be about the installation of ZOTERO for Windows. And the 5 is the version number of ZOTERO. At the present moment, that is the latest. As of today, that is the latest version of ZOTERO available. Then the next step is to install the ZOTERO connector. ZOTERO connector is to be installed because it establishes a link between ZOTERO and the Google Chrome, which is our browser. So a link will be established, or link or the connection will be established between Google Chrome, the browser, web browser, and Zotero, the software that we are using. So it is essential. Here you need not download. The moment you click over this button, the Zotero will be automatically, a connector will be automatically installed on your computer. When you have installed the Zotero on your computer, there is one indication or indicator to know that it is successfully installed or not. So you open any Word document, either a blank document or a saved document, any blank or saved document you can open. When you open the document, you find these are the tabs at the top of your document. These are the top tabs. So these are the usual tabs. So file, then home, then insert, design, layout, etc. These are the usual tabs in any Word document when you are open. But this additional tab wherein it is written Zotero is now seen after you install Zotero successfully on your computer. How you know whether the Zotero connector is installed or not, that I will tell at an appropriate time. So these are the two indications. One is the shortcut key will be available for you on the desktop, and the second thing is that when you open a Word document, you will find this additional tab being there, which indicates that Zotero is installed on your computer. Then the second step is to show what is an inbuilt library and folders. The library in Zotero is nothing but a folder created by the software for us, and it is available for us when you activate the Zotero or the software, when you start this on your computer. And it is a folder, and in that folder you can create subfolders like any folder in which you create these subfolders with the help of Windows, the operating system. So library is nothing but a folder that is created by the, which is an inbuilt folder that is created by the software for us, wherein you can then insert the references that you have collected. You can have the subfolders also in it. The main folder is my library. Main folder is titled my library, and in my library you can create several folders. Suppose you are writing 2 or 3 papers and you are collecting the references for these 2 or 3 papers separately, then you can have subfolders for each of the paper, and the references for that paper will be then stored in that subfolder of my library. So first paper, first subfolder, second paper, and you can give the names to these subfolders as we do in usual cases. So that is what the library means, and let us show how you activate that particular thing. So you start the software by clicking the shortcut of the Zotero. This Z over here is the shortcut for the to start the software. It must be started for that, and you find on the left side details like my library. My library is the main folder. It is the default folder, and in this you can create various subfolders. For example, here I have created 2 subfolders. One is called my publication and another is called my paper on typhoid. So here in my publication I will store my published papers, and the details of that will be available for me at any given time. And in paper for typhoid, I am writing, say, a paper on typhoid or the typhoid epidemic. So all the references that are collected for that will be stored in the paper on typhoid. This is the subfolder. All these will also be stored in the main folder, my library. So if you store it in my publications, it goes into my library and my publication. If you store anything in paper on typhoid, it is stored in paper on typhoid and my library. So whether you store it in my publication or my paper on typhoid, it will automatically by default go also in the main folder. So this is what is the my library, is that it is a collection of the details of the papers that are published and retrieved by you at various points of time. You may not necessarily collect these at one point of time. Today I collect some references, I put in my publications. Tomorrow I collect some papers and store it in paper on typhoid, something like that. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever time is there, and I go on storing it over there. So that is what my library means, and show what an inbuilt library and the folders mean in case of ZOTERO. Then the next objective is to collect the references and build your own library. Now you have seen when I showed you the details of the folder, my library, all the folders were empty. Now we want to collect some references. Suppose I want to collect the references for my paper on typhoid. So what do? I start the internet and go to the site wherever I have to find the references. PubMed is a common website where I go for finding the references, and here I want to go and find the references on paper for typhoid. So I search over here. So I write the known name of the author. For example, the name of the author in this case is Sati PV, and he is the author, and I want to search this in the columns of authors. So, and this, then when I say over here add, then it goes into the query box. So Sati PV will be searched for in the column of the authors. Then I know that the article is related to typhoid, but I do not know whether the word used is typhoid or it is enteric. So I write both the words and insert a Boolean operator or in between, and this I will have to search not in the authors column, but I want this to be searched in the title column. So I write this and I add this in the query box, and with this query Sati PV as author and typhoid or enteric fever in the title, I search over here and the article will come up in front of me. It will take some time. Yes, the article has cropped up in front of me. Now I want to store the details of this article in the library, my library. So for this you have the tabs over there. These are the usual tabs over there in your computer. This is the search word and search strategy and the paper number over here. And when you go on the right side, you will find certain tabs, and this tab is very important. This is created for us specifically by ZOTERO, and this tab indicates that ZOTERO connector is established. So when you want to store, you will have to activate. So not only you will have to go on internet with the web browser and go to the site where you want to search for the references, but the ZOTERO will have to be active. If it is not active, some error message will come, then you activate the ZOTERO on. So ZOTERO as well as the browser both have to be active, and your internet connection should be on. So with this, having searched the first paper, I want to store this. So I press this, and I want to store this in the folder of paper on typhoid. So I have selected that folder, and now this will automatically be stored. Now it has vanished. The drop down menu has vanished because I have instructed the system to store it in the folder of paper on typhoid. So this first paper has been stored. Now I want to search for another paper on typhoid, for example. So again I go to I write the name of the author. So this is the name of the author. I myself was the author of this paper. So Kulkarni AP is written, and I want to search it as the first author because I know I was the first author in this case. So I transfer this to the query box. And the next is the same word, typhoid or enteric, typhoid or enteric, and I want to search this in the headings under the title. So I want to search in title and transfer this into the query box over here. So now this is transferred, and now I want the system to search with this search query, and the article now comes up: epidemiological investigation of an outbreak of enteric fever in a village in Maharashtra. And I again go to this tab, and I want this to store, and I want to store this in paper on typhoid. So it is automatically stored. The details, whatever I see on the screen, are stored. So I have now up till now stored 2 papers in the folder papers on typhoid. Now I want to search for another query and I want to store it in another folder. So I will now search over here again. So the name of the author is he is the author of this. I want to search in the authors column and my name, because I am also the author of this article. So I want to search it in authors column. So two authors combined. Are there any papers I want to search? So I want this to be searched by the system, and I find that there are two papers, and I want to store the details of these not in the papers on typhoid but on my publications, because this is a my publication over here. So yeah, the system is now asking me, because there are two papers, and it is asking me which should be which should go in the library. So I say select all and I say OK. And here I don't want them to go into the papers on typhoid, but I want them to go in my publications. So it will go now in my publications. So all these two papers will go into my publication. So now I have found, or we have now up till now stored two papers in the papers on typhoid, and we have selected two papers to go into my papers, my publications. That was the folder. So two papers in one folder and two papers in another folder. So like this you go on. You may do first thing on the first morning, second on the second day, third on the third day. Like this it goes on, and you have a collection of the references. It is a repetitive task. Then you go to the next step. So collect the references and go to the. We have therefore collected the references and we have now built our own library. So this step is over. Now the fourth step is to show how to insert the references in the text. Now for this you will have to first of all write your own text. So I open the Word document wherever I have entered the details of the. So I am writing an article on typhoid epidemics in India. Suppose I am writing this article and I have a text prepared. Although this looks very short, you may have the 2 or 3 pages document over here, and let us presume that this is the entire document. And I want to insert now the references that I have collected at appropriate place. So this is the place where I want the largest epidemic of typhoid occurred in December 1975 and January 1970 in Sangli city of Maharashtra, India. So here then I go to this window and activate the ZOTERO. So this was the tab I have shown previously over the Word document. So at this time the ZOTERO software must be active, and the internet must be active, and your document must be active. So these 3 things must be active. So I have opened this document, that means it is open, and now I want to insert the first reference over here. So I instruct the software, I request the software. So this is the button over here, tab over here, which I press. Now it is asking me, now when you are doing this for the first time, for a first publication, it will ask you. So now I want to put the references. So these are the options available for us. So the first one is the Vancouver, then as per nature style, then as per ILLE style, elsewhere or Harvard standard is over here. So I want to prepare the list as per the Harvard standard. So I have therefore put it over here as OK. So now the system has understood that I want the references to be made in the Vancouver style. And now it is asking me, the system is asking me, I should now press this small button over here, which you may not see, which is beside the letter Z, and I want the classic view. Now here the papers are coming. Now these are awareness of urban slum mothers and community-based monitoring is my publications. These are not papers on typhoid. So I press this button. So these are the 2 papers that I have saved for typhoid paper. So the first one, the largest epidemic is in this particular paper. So I select this paper and I say OK over here. So you will find that after this letter, after this particular sentence, the reference has been cited over here as per the Vancouver style. In Vancouver style, it is the numerical number of that reference which comes up. If it is as per the Harvard style, then the name of the first author and et al. appears in this particular bracket. So this first reference is now quoted. Then the second reference I have to quote. So again I go to add references. Then again press the small button besides letter Z over here, and the second reference is from the paper on typhoid, and it is not this one. This we have already put over here, and this reference I want to put over here. So the second reference is already been quoted. So like this you proceed. Whichever reference you quote at a particular place, you will quote, and all the references are now say quoted already or cited in your text. So let us presume that all these references are cited. Now the next task for you is to show how to prepare the list of the references. So the task of preparing the references is now there, because the references are cited over here now, and now you have to make the list. So you write over here references, and you want the list to start over here. So you do now press this particular tab over here, add or edit the button, and automatically the references are quoted and they are over here. So the first reference, this first reference, the details of the first article, the second reference, and the details of the second article have come over here. So this is how you go. Sometimes the problems may arise. Nothing like that. The problems don't arise. Suppose you have to add a third reference after this. Now at the end you read the article and you come to know that certain reference has been missed by you, and it must be mentioned in between these two references. The line has to come. So you type that line, whatever the line is there, and the reference has to come over here. So when number 2 comes over here, this should automatically turn into number 3, and this reference Kulkarni AP second reference should automatically be pushed to reference number 3. So I have to put another reference. Say then I go to add or edit citation. And the reference whichever is there, for this particular example I am going to choose from my publications. Suppose this particular reference I have to insert in between the two references. So I say okay, so it will be added over here. So automatically this has been given number 2, and over here previously the number was 2. So this has automatically become reference number 3. And you will see here that the second reference has been put over here, and this which was previously reference number 2 has automatically become reference number 3. So this you can do with any style of referencing. This can be done with any style of referencing. It will automatically adjust itself. In Harvard style, for example, the references will automatically be adjusted as per the alphabetical order of the name of the first author. So that will be done automatically by this system. So you can download this on your computer and see whether you can do. And there is a help facility available in the system, and you can utilize this. In fact, I have learned all these details by using the help facility on the computer. Thank you very much, and we end this presentation over here, and thank you very much. You can contact me on my email ID, which will appear now. Thank you. You can contact me at this address drapkulkarni@gmail.com. Thank you very much.